Hello, boys and girls. A very good evening and welcome to this live problem solving session on reasoning ability brought to you by Talent Sprint. I hope all of you are in good health and your preparation for the SSC exam, SSC CGL exam, and the upcoming bank exams is in high gear. Well, looks like it's been a long time that I've taken the session. I don't know why, but great to uh, be a part of this live session and great to see that a lot of you have joined the session already and also started using the chat box, right? However, for the benefit of those who have recently enrolled in our program, let me mention that there's this chat box available right beside your video screen, which you can use to interact with us during the live session. And if you have any queries or questions that you want me to address, please feel free to post it there, right? I would also like to mention that the session today got postponed by half an hour. It usually starts at 6 p.m., but due to some unavoidable and a very important task in hand, I have to push it by half an hour. So I'm really sorry about this delay, but I hope you have not wasted this 30 minutes of your time and used it to do something important, right? Either for your preparation of these bank and SSC exams or to relax yourself, right? Because remember, all preparation and no relaxation will only trouble you during your examination. So while you have to put in a lot of hard work and efforts, you also got to make sure that you relax this part of your body so that you can, digest a lot more and produce it effectively when the right time demands, right? So that's about it. And by the way, I'm being very honest, I'm happy that I was a part of the discussion that we were doing because there's something very important and very useful coming up for all of you. I would not like to reveal more details on that, but yes, it was a very fruitful discussion. I'm sure in a month from now we'll have something very, very interesting for all you who are all the aspirants who are preparing for bank and SSC exams using Talent Sprint, right? Well, before we start discussing about the session, let me see who all have joined the chat. I can see that the chat is running in full swing here. So it looks like a lot of you have started participating. And yeah, to name a few, we have Akash Trivedi, John Master, Sri Krishna, Ravi Rathod, Gayatri, Sarmishtha, Swaminathan, Lakshman Abhishek, Chandan, Raji, Revati Sharma. Then we have Shravanti, Ekta Pandey, Prachi, Anil Kiran, Ajay, and many others there, right? Sushant Singh, Amit Verma, Shomu Banerjee, Chandrasekhar, and others. So good evening, guys. Thank you for joining us in the session. I see a couple of comments about the session, right? Has the session started? So is there a challenge that you guys are facing? Because it's been 2 minutes that we have started the session, and I hope the stream is absolutely fine, right? I don't see any problem at my end. If there's anything, you have to adjust your picture quality, right? Rudra Mohanty says, though it was informed to SMS about the change of timing, that the session today will be at 6:30, but I did not check the phone because difficult to break the mental patterns. Well, I totally agree with you, Aditya, because you're used to these timings of 6 p.m., right? I mean, we meet thrice a week, or actually 4 times a week at 6 p.m. every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Saturday for our problem-solving sessions, and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. for some general discussion or something on previous year's papers, right? So, I know that all of you have got used to it, right? That there's something happening at 6, but there was a change today, and yeah, thanks for reminding me that we had informed you or updated you all about the change in timing, right? Good. So, anything that you'd like to share before we start solving the questions? Well, while you guys comment on that, let me mention what we do in these sessions, right? Again, this is for those who have recently enrolled in our program. See, these are called problem-solving sessions, which are like any other doubts clarification session, right? Where you've got access to thousands of videos, ebooks, practice tests, and all your mock exams. There are times when you get stuck in a question and you need some clarification, right? And that is where these doubts clarification sessions or problem-solving sessions will play a role, right? Now, all you need to do as a part of this process is when you're learning something, either through a video or through an ebook or taking a practice test or your mock exam, if you get stuck, feel free to post that question in the discussion forums, right? Let me remind you that you've got discussion forums in each course of your program. So please make full use of those discussion forums, right? Participate as much as you can and keep yourselves engaged there by posting your questions and helping others answer the questions posted by them, right? All we would do is look at your questions that have been posted there, choose the typical ones which are left unanswered, and take it to these live doubts clarification sessions or the so-called problem solving sessions, right? Now today's session is on reasoning, which is like called reasoning ability in bank exams and general intelligence in reasoning when it comes to SSC exams. So we will choose questions from both the courses, right? The reasoning ability course of bank exam program and the general intelligence and reasoning course of SSC exams program, right? So you may find some questions which are typical of SSC exams and some which are more common in bank exams here, right? Remember that these sessions are common for bank and SSC exams for the common topics, of course. And like I mentioned in the last session, or maybe the session before that, we have published the calendar for your SSC refresher sessions where we'll discuss previous year's papers. And I'm sure all of you are aware of the fact that most of the syllabus is common. We will have some exclusive sessions for topics that are only in SSC exams. All right. So if you haven't checked the calendar already, please go through that after the session and be prepared for it accordingly. And there's one more point that I would like to mention before we get into any discussion, and this is on the feedback that we have got on general awareness in banking course, right? Like I've already mentioned this multiple times. Let me repeat myself that the general awareness and banking course of your bank exam prep program has been revamped completely, right? We have about 80 new videos that have been added there. And all these videos have been recorded by GVK, who would also start taking live current affairs sessions very soon. So we tried to get feedback, your valuable feedback and suggestions on the new course, right? And glad to see that you found it a lot better than what it was already there. And one important insight that came out from that feedback is that we should be conducting daily tests on general awareness in banking as well, right? Again, if you're not aware, let me mention that we conduct daily tests on quantitative aptitude, reasoning ability, English language, current affairs, and speed maths. But yeah, we've realized that there is actually no daily test on general awareness in banking. So we are considering that feedback which we have got from 2 or 3 students there, and I think it would make a lot of sense to conduct such tests. And very soon we will be starting daily tests on these topics as well, right? Topics like banking and static general awareness, right? So that's an update. And that is it. I think other things are work in progress. We have discussed those things multiple times. Okay, so shall we get started now? I think that is all I have to share. If there's anything that you would like to mention, please feel free to post it here. Ranjit Kumar says, I need a good plan to crack IBPS PO or clerk. Well, Ranjit, I think you should aim for PO. Clerks is definitely easier to crack when compared to a PO exam. So aim for PO, and I think keep practicing. The only shortcut to success in these exams is to practice more, right? Okay. Where can I get this session's YouTube link? I'm sure many others have shared it already. Ashish Singh has mentioned that please launch the best app of TalentSprint for only enrolled students for better practice. Well, Ashish, I would not like to comment anything on this now. There are some things which are under discussion, and we will come with a solution very soon. Should we get started? Somebody has mentioned that Sarika has mentioned reverse syllogisms have to be discussed. Don't know how to crack it. Well, Sarika, for your information, we have already added a few examples on reverse syllogisms, which were covered in our earlier doubts clarification sessions. You must go back and check the advanced examples in your syllogism course, right? Okay, so should we start now? Okay, we have some feedback from Sunil here, who's mentioned that the current affairs PDF are not good, did not help much in the SBI PU mains and the RBI grade B exam. Yeah, I think I forgot to take an update. I'm sure all of you had your RBI grade B exam the last weekend, right? So how was it? How many of you had participated in that exam? I need this feedback, right? Sorry, This would delay our problem solving discussion by maybe a couple of more minutes plus. But please let me know about your performance in the RBI Grade B exam. Who all have taken that exam and how was it? Waiting for your feedback on the RBI Grade B exam. Ramesh, by the way, has mentioned that this is first class, and so has Ranjit Kumar. So, welcome to Talent Sprint, guys, and I'm sure your experience here is gonna be great. We will try and do everything possible to enhance your learning and boost your chances of selection. Yeah, so some of you have attended, I guess. Venu Madhavi, Nagarupa, Sunil. Sunil says it was awesome but difficult. How can it be both awesome and difficult? Uh, Dikshit has mentioned that he's done well in all the sections. He or she has done well in all the sections. Sunil says could do only 135 questions. Venu Madhavi says it was lengthy paper for 120 minutes. And Sarika has done 111 questions. The reasoning was easy, but the other part was difficult. Yes, I think not much feedback here that can be discussed, but I hope all of you have yeah, even reasoning was easy and GK is easy is what I get to see. So looks like it has been a decent attempt, right? Venkatesh has just joined saying that it was he has attempted 100 questions, and Vinota has mentioned that it was good. So yeah, looks like it was a decent attempt. I can only wish you all the best for the next round. Let's hope for the best and continue practicing because there are a lot of other exams coming away. Now let's quickly get started. All I'm going to do now is share the screen with you all, which has got these questions that we have chosen from discussion forums, right? And maybe one or two questions also from the All-India mock exams where we have found or where TIA has found that many students have failed to get the right answer, right? So we have all such questions here for the session today. I'll share the screen, give you appropriate time to try the question yourself first, and then discuss the solution. All right. So here we go. Sharing my screen now for the first question, which is on your screens now. All right. Just give me a minute. I'll also pull the stylus out. Where is it? Yeah. All right, so here's the first question on your screen. This was posted by Manoj. And look at what it says. Sham's house, his office, and his gym all are equidistant from each other. Right? The distance between any two of them is 4 kilometers. It looks like there's a typo here, right? The distance between any two of them is 4 kilometers. Sham starts walking from his gym in a direction parallel to the road connecting his office and his house and stops when he reaches a point directly east of his office. He then reverses direction and walks till he reaches a point directly south of his office. The total distance walked by Sham is, and options given to us are 9 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 16 kilometers, 12 kilometers, or none of these. So you have about a minute to try this, and your time starts now. Interesting one from directions. And yes, of course, a little bit of geometry is involved here, but I'm sure all of you will be able to crack this without any difficulty. So let's see how many of you get the right answer. Waiting for responses. Jitendra Kumar has mentioned, please start. Well, Jitendra, I would like to tell you that the session has already started. We are almost 15-20 minutes into the session, but don't worry, this is the first question that we have on your screen now. Mishra Samir has got 9 kilometers as the answer, which is option 1. Swapna has got 16 kilometers, which is option 3. And I'm waiting for others to respond. Aditya Shah has mentioned that, can anyone tell me where should I post my doubt during live session? Well, Aditya, if there's anything pertaining to the question that we're discussing here, please post it in the chat itself, right? But if there's a new question that you would like to ask, you have to post it in the discussion forum, right? I would like to remind you all that we'll not be taking up any questions, any new questions posted in the chat directly, right? Well, that was an old format which we have stopped following now. So please use the discussion forum to post your questions and we will take it up from there. Now, more answers coming in. I think 12 kilometers is what most of you have got, right? Rajesh, Balaji, Sumit Kumar, Thiru, Harleen, Monica, and others, right? Pragyam has got 9 kilometers. And Kamala Priyadarshini has got 16. Raji has got 9. And then we have Sanjeev, Chandraniraj, and others. Amit Kumar, who've got 12, right? Shomu Banerjee has also got 12. So I think there's definitely some confusion out there. While most of you have got 12 kilometers is the answer, there are others who have got 16 and 9. So let's take it up now. Time is up. Let's see what the right answer is. Now look at this question. It says, Sham's house, his office, and his gym are all equidistant from each other. The distance between any two of them is 4 kilometers. Sham starts walking from his gym in a direction parallel to the road connecting his office and his house and stops when he reaches a point directly east of his office. He then reverses direction and walks till he reaches a point directly south of his office. The total distance walked by Sham is, right? What's the total distance walked by Sham? So let's try and understand the first statement. It says Sham's house, his office, and his gym are all equidistant from each other. Now tell me, when is it possible that 3 points are equidistant from each other? This is like a general question, right? There are 3 points. All the 3 are equidistant from each other, meaning the distance between any 2 points is constant. That can happen only when we make an equilateral triangle. You understand? So these are the 3 points we can say, right? Like one of these points is his house, the other one is the gym, and third one is his office. All 3 are equidistant. All right? So let's say this is his house, here is the office, and here is the gym. Okay? All 3 are equidistant. And the distance between any 2 of them is 4 kilometers, right? The distance between any 2 of them is 4 kilometers. So that's like an equilateral triangle with side of length 4 kilometers. So this is 4 kilometers, right? Or let me actually make a triangle, right? Just give me a second. I'll make a proper equilateral triangle so that it's easy to. Proper as in not a equilateral triangle to scale, but yeah, the one which looks like. So 4 kilometers is the distance between any 2 points here, right? These 3 are the equidistant points, right? These 3 points are equidistant from each other. Now, it says Sham starts walking from his gym in a direction parallel to the road connecting his office and his house and stops when he reaches a point directly east of his office. Directly east of his office. I think, pardon me, I'll just draw it once again. Looks like I need to draw a smaller triangle so that the space here is sufficient, right? Yeah, so let's say this is how it looks like, right? Each length is 4 kilometers. Now, he starts walking from his gym. So let's say he starts walking from his gym and he walks in a direction parallel to the road connecting his office and his. So let's assume that this is the gym. See, you can take any point as anything, but take it in a way that you follow the statements, right? So he started walking from his gym in a direction parallel to the road connecting his office and his house. So this is the road that connects his office and his house, right? And stops when he reaches a point directly east of his office. So he's, let's say, walking this way. He should reach east of his office. So I think we can consider this as office and house, right? So his house, gym, and office. Now he starts walking from his gym in a direction parallel to the road connecting his office and his house. So this is the road connecting his office and his house. I mean, a road parallel to the road connecting his office and his house. You understand? This dotted line here is supposed to be the parallel to HO, right? Parallel to HO. So that's what we are trying to do, right? And he stops when he reaches a point directly east of his office. This is his office, and east of his office would be in this direction. So he stops at a point when he's directly in the east of his office. So he should be in this line. Understand? He should be in this line. You get it? So I think this is the stopping point. He starts from his gym and covers this much. So he's gone in this direction and stopped here. Now, what is the distance that you think he has covered already? 4 kilometers. Because these two lines are parallel to each other, and he has to reach a point which is directly east to his office. So that can happen only when you make a parallelogram. You understand? So basically, we can say that he has covered 4 kilometers to reach this point. Right? He has covered 4 kilometers. This is 4 kilometers, and he has reached a point which is directly east to his office. Now, what does he do? East of his office. He has reached this point. Then he reverses direction. He then reverses direction. So he was moving in this direction now. Let's say it's like north, moving northeast to be very precise. But yeah, he is moving northeast. He reverses his direction. So he's not turning back. He comes like this, right? And walks till he reaches a point. So he started walking back. He walks till he reaches a point directly south of his office. See, what is directly south of his office? Directly south of his office would be in this line, somewhere in this line. You understand? Like this is the east of his office. So he walked till he reached directly east of his office. So he will stop here. Now he's going to walk till he reaches the south of his office. So he has reversed his direction. He comes back to this point. Right? He reverses his direction and walks till he reaches a point directly south of his office. So he's reversed his direction, comes back to this point, comes back to the gym again, and then continues because he has not yet reached the south of his office. He has to reach the south of his office, right? So he continues. Right? And he travels like this. And he stops here. Now he stops here finally, right? Because he has reached south of his office, right? He has reached the south of his office. This is south of his office and this is the east of his office. So the question asked here is the total distance walked by Shyam. What's the total distance walked by Shyam? I think this is fairly easy, right? I mean, if you observe, he covers 4 kilometers from, let's say these points are M and N, right? M and N. So from G to M, he covers 4 kilometers. Again, when he reverses his direction and comes back, from M to G, it is 4 kilometers again. Right? And then G to N. The question is how much is G to N? Now, if you observe, I mean, this is like a very symmetric diagram, right? It is like a rhombus, right? So if this is 4, this also has to be 4. While in the diagram looks like this leg is longer, GN is longer than GO, but you know that it will be 4 kilometers, right? So what's the total distance covered by Shyam? Total distance covered by Shyam is 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12. Option 4 should be the answer, right? Total distance is, I mean, I'll just give you the coordinates, GM plus mg plus gn. So this is like 3 4s, right? 3 4s is 12. You don't have to write this step in the exam. You won't be awarded extra marks for this, right? Cut down the number of steps that you put on paper. And I'm sure it won't take so much of time. I mean, you will not be doing all this drama in the exam, right? Draw an arrow, write east, then draw an arrow like this and say south, then draw an equilateral triangle so precisely, all these dotted lines and all that, right? Cut down that unnecessary stuff, right? The more you write on paper, the more time it takes. Anyway, the answer is 12 kilometers, right? mg plus gm plus gn, right? Total distance walked by Shyam. So 4 plus 4 plus 4. 12 kilometers, option 4. Okay? Let me get back to the video and take some feedback. I hope all of you have followed this. Sai Kiran has asked me a question. How is mg 4 kilometers or how is gm 4 kilometers? I think Sai Kiran, it's fairly easy, right? I mean, if you understand, there's an equilateral triangle that we have framed. He's walking in a line parallel to the other line, okay? And he reaches directly east of his office. I mean, I don't have the diagram here, but you got to visualize, right? There's an equilateral triangle that we have. He's walking in a line parallel to the road connecting his house and his office. And he reaches exactly he reaches a point which is exact to the east of his office. That can happen only when you make a parallelogram, right? So, these two roads are parallel. You got to understand that, right? These two roads are parallel, and also he stops exactly in the line of east from his office. So it has to be equal to the other leg. So if that's 4, this also is 4. And then reverse 4 and another 4. So total 12 kilometers. Okay. All right. I hope all of you have followed. Dikshit has mentioned that he has not started studying reasoning yet, but he has got this question. So glad to know that you have got the right answer. Shall we move to the next one now? I think we can move to the next question. Let's not wait for more feedback. So I'm clearing this up. to present the next question to you all. Yeah. Okay. So the next question is on your screens now. All right, another one from directions. This was posted by Raji. It says a man K goes 4 meters east from point P and reaches point Q. Then he turns left 3 meters and reaches point R and blah blah. I mean, there's some path given there. So why don't you just trace this path and answer the question? I'll give you a minute to try this out, right? All of you, try this question. But the answer? Okay, I'm sure you'll not get the answer because the question is incomplete. I also had realized that, and it was a cautious decision to post it because Raji, I'm not sure if you're present in the session here, but you must realize that you have posted an incomplete question. I don't think it's incomplete. The only thing is the tracing has been done there, and after this there'll be some questions asked, maybe 1 or 2 questions asked. And I'm sure if you have done the tracing of the path very clearly, then you can answer the 2 questions or 1 or 2 questions, whatever, very easily there. So all I would ask you all to do is trace the path and get the right diagram. We will not worry about the questions here. I know that the actual questions have not been asked, only the data has been given. So Raji, you want to understand that you have not supplied the questions, just the data. But what is the question? Okay, Raji, are you the same Raji who had posted this? Because you are now saying that something is missing. Yes, something. Okay, you have said something is missing, question mark. So you're also confused, I guess. Well, all I'm asking you to do, guys, is to trace the path. I know questions have not been asked. We can frame our own questions, but you have to trace the path. Okay, looks like many of you have traced it already. So let's do it now. I think we'll not skip it. There's no point in skipping it. You should know how to at least trace the path and connect the 2 segments given here. Questions can be answered easily, right? So let's take it up. So this question was posted by Raji, which says, a man K goes 4 meters east from point P and reaches point Q. Then he turns left 3 meters and reaches point R. Finally, he turns his right, goes 4 meters and reaches point S. Another person, so he's talking about another person goes 3 meters north from point Z and reach point Y and turns right, goes 6 meters, reach point W. So I think there are a lot of commas that are missing here, right? I mean, you have to make it grammatically correct. Another person goes 3 meters north from point Z and reach point Y and turns right, goes 6 meters and reach point W. He goes 4 meters north, reaches point V and finally turns left, goes 2 meters and reaches point T, which is to the east of Q and at a distance of 4 meters. So if you actually see, he's talking about two different persons here, right? The first person K, who goes 4 meters east from point P and travels along the direction given here, and then another person. But the point is, we have not been given any connector or any connection between the first person and the second person in terms of the directions or the distance. It comes only at the end. You understand? If you look at the first person, the points that he has touched are P, Q, R, and S. The other person has touched Z, Y, W, V, and T. And there is no connection between P, Q, R, S, and Z, Y, W, V, T. Finally, at the end he says T. See which here refers to the preceding point, right? I mean, we always have discussed this in questions on arrangements, right? Whenever we say who or which, we refer to the preceding person or the preceding item. So which here refers to point T. So point T is to the east of Q. So here is where the point T and Q are getting connected. So the two persons are getting connected. Point T is to the east of Q and at a distance of 4 meters. So what we can do is quickly trace the two paths independently and then try to connect them. Okay, so let's see. So man goes 4 meters east from point P. Let's assume this is point P. Man goes 4 meters east from point P. Right, 4 meters east from point P and reaches point Q. So east is this direction, right? He goes in this direction and reaches point Q. Right, he reaches point Q. Then he turns left. So the person is traveling towards east, right? His left will be towards north and travels 3 meters. So now he travels 3 meters and reaches point R. So he has reached this point, which is point R. Finally, he turns to his right. So now he turns to his right. Right when you are moving towards north is actually towards right, right? So this is point R, by the way. He turned towards his right, goes 4 meters. He travels another 4 meters. Right? He travels 4 meters and reaches point S. This is point S, which he has reached. So this is the path traced by K. 4 meters east from point P, reach point Q, turns left, goes 3 meters towards north. Turns left is towards north here already. So he covers 3 meters. And then again he turns to his right, which is towards east, and covers 4 meters to reach point S. So this is one path. Now look at it. Another person goes 3 meters north from point Z. Now where is point Z is not known to us. All we know about the data so far is P, Q, R, and S. Point Z is not known to us. So this person travels 3 meters north from point Z, reaches point Y, then turns right, goes 6 meters, reaches point W, then again goes 4 meters, reaches point V, and finally turns left, goes 2 meters and reaches point T, which is to the east of Q. Now understand, Q is here and at a distance of 4 meters. So basically, east of Q, which is in this direction, right, towards this direction, east of Q at a distance of 4 meters. So east of Q at a distance of 4 meters, which will be in line with this point S, right? So the point T is going to be here. You're able to follow. Point T is to the east of Q at a distance of 4 meters. Point T is to the east of Q at a distance of 4 meters. This is the east of Q and the distance between Q and T is 4 meters. Now, there are two ways to do it. Either you trace the path in the reverse direction, which is going to be a little complex. Like for example, you cannot start from point Z here if you want to connect Q and T directly. You're able to follow. Because where exactly Z is not known to us in this space, right? So you can trace it in the reverse. You can try doing that in the reverse direction. Like for example, you've already found that point is here. Now, see the person turns left, goes 2 meters and reaches point T. So the question that comes up is, from which direction has he turned left? You're able to follow. Like when the person is traveling towards west, left would mean going towards T. When the person is traveling towards east, going right would mean towards T. You're able to follow. There are multiple ways of, person is traveling towards east, let's say. Again, going left from bottom would mean going towards T. So there are 2-3 different ways in which you can reach T here. So that is the reason I think we better start from point Z. Let's assume point Z is somewhere here. Another person goes 3 meters north of point Z. So let's assume Z is here. We'll connect it later, right? Let me just very quickly try and do that. I'll do it separately. Right? This is point Z. Another person goes 3 meters north of point Z, right? So 3 meters north of point Z, he reaches point Y. So this is point Y and turns right. So the person turns right now, goes 6 meters. So now he goes 6 meters and reaches point W. So this is point W. Now he goes 4 meters north. So from here he's going 4 meters north, right? So from W he's going 4 meters north and reaches point V. This is point V. And finally turns left. So when he's going towards north, he turns left, goes 2 meters. He goes 2 meters and reaches point D. So this is point Q. So that is it. You have got one path here, the other path here. You already connected Q with T. Just map this here. So 2 meters from T, we have point V. Again, 4 meters like this in this direction. We will have point W, right? Then 6 meters here. So understand, 6 meters here would mean what? Say this is 2 meters and this is 4 meters. So 6 meters would mean coming exactly in line with point Q and R. This will be point Y. And from here, 3 meters. So this is 6 meters, and from here, 3 meters would be point Z. This is point Z. You're able to follow. So trace the two paths separately. This was one part. I mean, you understand. Let me use a different color to show you the two different paths that we have traced, right? But this is one path that we traced. This is the other path, right? How did we connect? We have found that the distance between Q and T is 4 meters, and T is towards the west of Q. So that's it. From there, you just copy it, right? So this segment has to be copied here. And now a lot of questions can be asked based on this. Of course, this question is incomplete because, no questions have been asked, only data has been given, but multiple questions can be asked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions can be. Like for example, what is the distance between point R and point Z? What is the distance between point R and point Z? How do you calculate? R to Z, R to Z. This is 3 meters, this is 4 meters, and this is 3 meters. So 3 plus 4 plus 3. You understand? The total vertical distance there, right? The distance between V and this point. What is this point, by the way? From Y equals to W, right? This is point W. So the distance between Q and Y will be as good as distance between V and W. So this is 4. So 3 plus 4 plus 3, 10 meters. R and Z is 10 meters. Maybe the question can be, in which direction should we go from point Z to reach point P? From Z, in which direction should we go to reach point P? So from Z, in which direction we go? In this direction. What is this? It falls between north and west. So this is northwest. So from Z, if you have to reach point P, you have to go in the northwest direction. In which direction should we go from R to reach, let's say, point Y? From R, in which direction should we go to reach point Y? So from R, he has to travel towards south because R and Y are in the straight line and Y is in the southern direction of R. So from R, you have to go towards the south to reach point Y. And what distance has to be covered? 3 meters plus 4 meters, 7 meters. Similarly, we may have to find a distance which is like a hypotenuse with a set of perpendicular lines, right? Like for example, distance between R and W. What's the distance between R and W? So just connect distance between R and W. How do you do that? Try to make that right angle triangle. Again, let me use a different color to explain this to you, right? Try to make a right angle triangle. So distance between R and W. So this is the right angle triangle that we're talking about. So the base is 6 meters. This is 7 meters, right? 3 plus 4, 7. How much is this? Root over 6 square plus 7 square. Right? So root over, this doesn't look to be the right color. I'm sorry about that. Let me use this, right? So distance between R and W. You understand? So the questions can be asked in different ways, right? So R, Y, W. If you look at R, Y, W, R to Y to W. Between Y and W, it is 6 meters. Between R and Y, it is 3 plus 4, 7 meters. So R and W will be root over 7 square plus 6 square. So that's like 49 plus 36, 85. Root 85. Right, that's the answer. So this is how questions can be framed with this. Raji, of course, has forgotten to give us the questions, but yeah, the data is enough to, try this out, right? How do you connect the two different paths? All right. So I hope all of you followed the solution there. question was not asked like all of us have figured out. But if you're all clear, we can just move to the next one now. Is it clear? Any questions anywhere? Yeah, I think many of you have asked me to take up the next question because you've already got it. Yeah. Okay, John Master has mentioned that this question has been chosen from the daily test of June 15, 2017. But there must have been the data question also with that, right? How is it incomplete? Anyways, I hope all of you have understood what needs to be done in such cases. If you're all clear, we can move to the next question now. Shall we? Yeah. Yeah, I've already got a few confirmations there from Satish, Venu Madhavi, Preetham Kumar and others. So sharing the screen again to present the next question to you all. And here we go. Let me just clear this. So the next question is on your screens now. All right. So it looks like after a long time, we have got something on arrangements or puzzles. And this was posted by Sarika. See what it says? A, B, C, D, E, and F are 6 persons who have joined 6 different banks. OBC Bank, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, and State Bank of India by scoring different marks in the written exam of a maximum of 200 marks. Marks are an integer value. All right. They're all sitting around a circle facing the center with equal distance. C is second to the right of the person who joined the. So basically, I think after this, the clues have been given. All we need to do here is arrange 6 persons, right? A, B, C, D, E, and F around a circular table. Right? They're all sitting around a circle facing the center. So 6 persons have to be arranged around a circular table. We have got 6 different banks here. OBC, Punjab National Bank, PNB, Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, and State Bank of India. And different marks. They have scored different marks in the examination. Right? Of course, you can see some values given, right? 169, 174, 170, 172, and so on. 164 here. So we have to arrange 6 persons around the table, find out which person works for which bank, and what is the marks that the person has scored. All right. So I'll leave you all with this for 5 minutes. I'm sure you should be close to getting the solution in that time, right? And based on your response, we will see if you need more time. However, examination point of view, the first thing that you do when you see such questions is to skip and move to the next one. There's no point in trying out such questions in the exam, right? Just skip, go to the remaining questions, solve the easier ones first, and then come back. But let's try it now. So 5 minutes. Let's see how many of you get the right solution. Okay, Arjun, looks like Arjun has asked me to explain the previous one again. Arjun, I'm really sorry. One is that we have already moved to the next one and I've cleared the solution. And secondly, I would even otherwise ask you to kind of watch the video once it gets added to your account, right? These videos or the question that you're solving now will get added to your account by end of the day tomorrow. So you can refer to that video solution again, and I'm sure you'll be able to follow it at your pace, right? If there's a doubt again, you can feel free to post it in the discussion forum, right? And a lot of questions coming in for Shomu there, because he's cleared not one, but or he's got not one but six jobs, and I'm sure all the aspirants would look up to him and get some tips, right? So the question for Somu is, how many hours do you study per day? All right, let me not distract you all. Just focus and try to get the solution to this one. All right, let me read out a few comments. I'll give you some more time to try this. Amit Kumar has mentioned that the 17th June video is not available. Well, I'll request the support to please check this and ensure that the video is uploaded. And Rahul has mentioned, please give daily banking quiz as well. So Rahul, looks like you have not been in the session since the beginning. This is what exactly I mentioned in the start of the session, that we'll be adding banking quiz also going forward. And Nayan is the one who has already done the solution for this question. So good, Nayan. I am sure you would get the right answers for the questions that have been asked along. Right? I've not shown the questions yet because there's no space here. It's just the data. Work on the arrangement, right? Questions can be answered easily. And Raj Lakshmi says your screen is not clear. So Raj Lakshmi, there's nothing that I can do about it. It depends on your connectivity, internet connection. So please make sure that you adjust the picture resolution using that settings button which is there on the bottom right of your video screen, right? There's this gear-like button. Hit that button, you will be asked to adjust the picture quality and the resolution. So that should help. So how many of you have got the solution? Looks like many of you are still trying it out. I don't see any responses coming in for this one, except who was that who's got it? Nayan, right? So Nayan is the only one who's mentioned that he has done it, right? All others are still trying. Okay, Chirag. Okay, Chirag Rana is also done, and Ajay says sir ke upar se ja raha hai. Well, इसीलिए चिराग, इसीलिए अजय, I always say that you should skip these questions, right? एग्जाम में अगर ये डायरेक्टली ट्राई करोगे तो शायद ये फ्रस्ट्रेशन में कन्वर्ट हो जाए. Always skip these questions, solve the other ones first, and then come back. Right? So Thiru is still trying it. Divya has completed. Surya Prakash says he's still trying. And so has Chandra Neeraj, Revati, Naveen, Satish, Nitesh. All these guys are trying. And Sri Krishna has also got it. And looks like a couple of you have mentioned that you're not getting the daily test, which I don't agree because I know daily tests are being published every day without fail. You just have to visit your. So what we have done now is daily tests are also being published on the practice site. So just go to the practice platform and you will find the daily section tab, the daily test tab, which will have all these tests. Okay. Okay, I think a few more have done, Shruti and Kamal Priyadarshini and Shomu Banerjee. So time to take this up, right? Balaji is also done it. I would do one thing, very quickly present the 5 questions to you all so that you can quickly mark the answers and then we will look at the solution. So here are the questions. Sorry for this, just a second. Yeah. So here are the first 3 questions. You don't have to give the answers, just see if your answers are there among the options or not. There are 5 questions along with that. The first 3 are on your screens here, right? Who amongst the following is from OBC? I mean, answering these questions is sitter. You just have to look at the arrangement and mark the answer. Next one says 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way based on the given seating arrangement and thus form a group. Which is the one that does not belong to that group? Again, easy to answer. And the third question here says who is seated between D and the person from Bank of Baroda? Right? Then the 2 other questions that we have are here on your screen. Which of the following is true regarding the given information? So that's like a simple verification that you need to do. Look at the options and find out which of these options is true regarding the given seating arrangement. And the last one here is which of the following order of marks in descending order is true? Pritam, I can read your comments. You have been mentioning that you're not getting the daily test since June 15. Let me tell you that we have added daily test. I mean, earlier we used to add it in your direct login, but now you have to go to the practice site. When you log into our portal, you have this practice test link, right? Click on that, and there you will find a daily test. All right? Don't worry. All the tests are there. Done. So Chandan and Nilesh Chaudhary has also got it. Let's go back and quickly solve this question now. So I think this screen should help me complete this solution. All right. So here's the question. Look at this. Posted by Sarika. It says A, B, C, D, E, and F are 6 persons who have joined 6 different banks. OBC, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, and State Bank of India by scoring different marks in the written exam of a maximum of 200 marks. So they've scored different marks in a written examination, which had maximum of 200 marks. And marks are an integer value, right? Marks are an integer value. Then they all are sitting around a circle facing the center with equal distance. All of them are sitting around a circle facing the center with equal distance. So if you see, there are three parameters. The persons, names of the persons A, B, C, D, E, F, 6 persons. 6 banks, which are OBC, PNB, the Punjab National Bank, then BOM, Bank of Maharashtra, BOI, Bank of India, BOB, Bank of Baroda, and SBI, State Bank of India. So that's the second parameter. And the third one is marks, because they've scored different marks in the written examination, which had maximum of 200 marks. Right? So three things have to be arranged around the circular table, right? The persons, the banks, and the marks. And also one point given to us is marks are an integer value, right? Now see, they all are sitting around a circle facing the center with equal distance. So that's the point which you've already looked at. From this point onwards, the clues have been given. Like C is second to the right of the person who joined Bank of Baroda, whose score is 169 marks, which were the third lowest marks out of the 6 students. Which were the third lowest marks out of the 6 students. So if you actually see, we know that there are 6 different values given to us. I mean, if you just throw a glance, there are numbers given here in the data, right? 169, 174 somewhere, 170 here, 164, 172. So different values have been given, which are like marks. And of course, based on the marks, they can be ranked. Like here he's talking about third lowest marks, then second highest marks and all that, which means he is also referring to the position, first position, second position, and so on, right? Here you see second highest marks and all. So what we can do is, we can have a separate list based on their marks, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Remember, highest to lowest. This is highest. This is lowest. All right. So we'll put the marks here. I mean, marks names may not be known to us, but marks at least in terms of marks, which is the highest score, which is the second highest score, and so on. Right. So if you read the first point, it says C is second to the right of the person. C is second. Sorry. C is second to the right of the person who joined Bank of Baroda. So that's a simple point, right? C is second to the right of the person who joined Bank of Baroda. So let me draw, we'll put the marks here, right? Let me just, you don't have to do all this in the exam, by the way, right? I'm just trying to do it neatly so that you can follow it easily, right? You won't be awarded any marks for neatness in the exam. So what I'm going to fill up in the cells is the marks, right? Let me draw a circle. I may have to draw 2 or maybe 4 circles, depending on the complexity here. So 6 persons have to be arranged. These are the 6 positions, let's say, right? These are the 6 positions. Now, look at the first point. It says C is second to the right of the person who got selected in Bank of Baroda. C is second to the right of the person who joined Bank of Baroda. So let's assume this person joined Bank of Baroda. Remember, all of them are facing center. When all the persons are facing center, left is towards clockwise and right is toward the anti-clockwise direction. These are all standard points which we have discussed in our video. So go back to the videos and refer if you have not done that already. And whenever persons are facing center, we prefer to start from the bottom of the circle. If the persons are facing outwards, we prefer to start from the top of the circle, right? For some very obvious reasons, which you can learn through the videos. So it says C is second to the right of the person who joined Bank of Baroda. So Bank of Baroda, guys, this, we don't know the name and marks, but he's the person. C is second to the right of this person. Now, right of this person is in the anti-clockwise direction. Right is always anti-clockwise when persons are facing center. So C is second to the right. So first and second, C comes here. Right? C is second to the right of the person who joined Bank of Baroda, whose score is 169 marks. Now understand, whose score? Whose here refers to whom? The person who joined Bank of Baroda. Remember, who, whose, which, all this refer to the preceding person, right? Whose score? So who joined Bank of Baroda, and this person's score is 169 marks. So the one who joined Bank of Baroda, he scored 169 marks. Which were the third lowest marks? He scored 169, which were the third lowest marks out of all the 6 students. So basically, this person who has scored 169 is third lowest, has got the third lowest marks. See, lowest is this, second lowest, and third lowest. So we can say third lowest is 169. You're able to follow? 169 marks, third lowest. Third lowest does not mean that you have to put it here, right? This is third highest. Third lowest is from right to left. So that's the first point, right? We know C, we know BOB, and we know that BOB guy has scored 169 marks. Next point, A is immediate to the left of the person who is opposite to the person who joined State Bank of India, who is not near to F. Now, if you try to look at the second statement, it doesn't really connect with anything given in the first statement. See, in the first statement, we know about C, We know about Bank of Baroda and we know about 169. But look at the second statement. It says A is to the immediate left of the person who is opposite to the person who joined SBI, who is not near to F. So A, SBI, F, all three or none of these three have been plotted on the circle already. So this statement is not going to help us immediately. Definitely the information given is valuable, but we cannot use it immediately, right? So let's go to the next point. B scored the second highest marks and did not join Bank of India. B scored the second highest marks. B scored the second highest marks. So second highest marks scored by B. I mean, if you want to make a note of it, right? B scored the second highest marks and did not join Bank of India, but is second to the left of the person who scored 174 marks. So B did not join Bank of India, but he is second to the left of the person who scored 174. Now again the same problem. We have neither Bank of India nor 174 marked on the circle so far. So we cannot really use this information. So we'll come back to this statement, right? We are looking for something which connects with any one of these three. D is seated opposite to the one who joined Bank of India. Again, not useful. D and Bank of India have not been used so far, right? D is not near to B. D is not near to B. Again, this also will not be useful. E has not scored lowest marks. E has not scored lowest marks. Now, E has not scored lowest marks means what? E will not come in this cell. Right? This is not for E. But how does it help us? It doesn't really help. C is immediate to the left of the one who joined State Bank of India. Now, this is useful. Right? The next statement that is useful is this one. Why? Because it talks about C, who has already been placed on the circle here. Right? C is immediate to the left of the one who joined State Bank of India. Let's stop here. We'll continue with the later part. C is immediate to the left of the one who joined State Bank of India. So C is on the immediate left of SBI. C is on the immediate left of SBI. If C is on the immediate left of SBI, SBI is on the immediate right of C. Yes or no? When all of us are facing the same direction, center or outwards or north or east or west or south, if I am towards your left, you are towards my right. Right? So it says C is on the immediate left of SBI. If C is on the immediate left of SBI, SBI is on the immediate right of C. Immediate right of C is this position. Right is always anti-clockwise when persons are facing center. So that is SBI's position. And C scored 170 marks. And C scored 170 marks. C scored 170. Make a note of that. C scored 170. C scored 170. Now, where will 170 come? I'm sure 170 will be the third highest here. Because see, we know that marks are all integer value. So after 169, the next score can only be 170. It cannot be anything between 169 and 170. So we can put 170 here, which is for C. C scored the third highest marks. Right? C scored 170. Right? There cannot be 169.5 or 169.2 as a score there, right? All the marks are integers. So we have got two more data points here, SBI and 170. And the fact that we have got SBI now into picture, I think we can go back to one of the statements which use SBI. Look at this. SBI was given here, right? So maybe this statement can be used now. Because at that point of time, SBI was not there on the diagram. Now SBI is there. So use this, just read this quickly. A is on the immediate left of the person who is opposite to SBI. So just look at this. A is immediate to the left of the person who is opposite to the person who joined SBI. Now SBI is here. Who is opposite to SBI? Bank of Baroda. We don't know the name of the person, but opposite is this position. So A is immediate to the left of the person who is opposite to SBI. Opposite to SBI is this. A is on the immediate left of this person. You understand? This person is opposite of SBI. A is on the immediate left of this person. Immediate left is what? Left is clockwise. Immediate left is this one. A. So A comes here. A is on the immediate left of the person who is opposite to SBI. So opposite to SBI, immediate left is A. Who is not near to F. Now who here refers to whom? SBI. Remember, who, whose, which, all these are for the preceding person, right? So who means the guy from SBI, right? The person who joined SBI is not near to F. Who is not near to F. So the guy from SBI is not near to F, which means F cannot be a neighbor of SBI. F cannot be a neighbor of SBI. If you look at the other, one side of SBI, we already have C here. The other side is vacant and F cannot come here. F cannot come in this position. F of course cannot come here because C is already seated. F cannot come here as well. F can come either in this position or this position. You're able to follow. F should not be a neighbor of SBI. So done with that point as well. Right? So next point, we'll come back here, right? The person who joined PNB is second to the left of the one who scored 172. The person who joined PNB is second to the left of the one who scored 172. So PNB and 172 both are not there on the circle, so it doesn't really help. Let's jump to the next point. Quickly read all the statements. So basically, that's the idea, right? Read all the statements very quickly. The person who joined OBC did not score highest marks. So the person who joined OBC did not score highest. Nothing really useful here, right? One of the 6 students scored, which was a prime number. Okay, so one of the 6 students scored something which was a prime number. One of the 6 students scored something which is a prime number. Okay. So this again can be useful, but not immediately, right? The lowest scored mark is 164. The lowest scored mark is 164. This also have to remember. The lowest scored mark is 164. Lowest is 164. So this is lowest, 164. 164, right? Okay. And yeah, so if I have to just fill the cells here, look at this. We know that the lowest is 164. Fifth highest we don't know, or second lowest we don't know. Then this is 160 and 170. The other two values which are there on the data is 174, right? Look at this. 174 is given. So 174 can take any one of these two cells. And then we also have the 172. So clearly 172 and 174 are more than 170. So 172 has to come here and 174 has to come here. Right? You understand? We're just filling the gaps. 172 and 174 are also there in the data, so they have to come here. And now we can actually conclude that B scored 172. And the highest guy has scored 172. Right? And by the way, what is this fifth score? How can we identify that? I think this point will help. One of the 6 students scored, which was a prime number. If you look at it, 174 is not a prime number. 172 is not a prime number. These are all even numbers, right? Even numbers are not prime numbers. Except 2, no even number is a prime number. So this is also not a prime number. 164 is also not a prime number. Is 169 a prime number? 169 is 130, 39. No, 169 cannot be a prime number. 169 is 13 times 13. Sorry, 169 is a perfect square. It cannot be a prime number. So clearly, see, understand, we know that 174, 172, 170, 169, 164, all these are not prime numbers. But we also know that one of the 6 values is a prime number. So definitely the value that comes here has to be prime. And it has to be between 164 and 169. Since we are arranging them in a particular order, ascending or descending, it has to be between 164 and 169. So what are the numbers between 164 and 169? 165, 161. I'll just write it. I mean, I don't know if there are multiple possibilities. Space may not be sufficient. So 165, 166, 167, 168. Right? These are the 4 values between 164 and 169. And which of this is prime? 166, 168 are ruled out. 165 is also ruled out. So 167 has to be the prime number. Right? See, 165 is a multiple of 5. 166, 168 are multiples of 2. So these cannot be prime. 167. So we now know all the 5 values basically. One part is done. At least the sequence of marks is known to us and all the marks are known. Okay. What do we do now? I think we have done the first reading. We have got some data points, but not sufficient enough. Can anything else be used? B scored the second highest marks and did not join Bank of India. Right? B scored second highest, did not join Bank of India, but second to the left of the person who scored 174. Now, who scored 174 is not known to us. D is opposite to the one who joined Bank of India. That also is not known to us. D is not near to B. D is not near to B. E has not scored the lowest marks. None of these points can be useful, right? Immediately. Person who joined PNB is second to the left of the one who scored 172. PNB is second to the left of 172. Multiple possibilities again if you want to try that. The person who joined OBC did not score the highest marks. OBC did not score the highest marks, okay. And this point we have already used. Let me underline this also. One of the 6 students scored, which was a prime number. So anything that has been underlined indicates it has been used, right? So what do we do? The person who, I think we have to see if there is a, I mean, we have to maybe consider multiple possibilities and do it very quickly. See, one thing, there are 2 ways to solve the question now. Either try to, deeply understand the statements given here and see what actually can be made out of it, right? Or if you think there are 2 possibilities, quickly try out both of them, fill up the gaps everywhere, and eventually you'll find out which one works, which one is complete. So we can do that as well, right? But are there 2 possibilities or 4 possibilities or 8 possibilities? We need to check. B scored second highest marks and did not join Bank of India, but second to the left of the person who scored 174. D is opposite to Bank of India. D is opposite to Bank of India. Will this be helpful? D is opposite to Bank of India. Yeah, I think D is opposite to Bank of India is helpful. Try and understand. D should be opposite to Bank of India. I think there are only two possibilities. There are only two ways in which this can happen. Look at this. Where can D come? Where can D come? That's what we are trying to analyze. All of you try and focus on this. We know that D is opposite to Bank of India. I'm trying to use this statement. D is seated opposite to Bank of India, BOI. Where can D come? Can D come here in this place? No, because D has to be opposite to Bank of India. Here we have SBI. So ruled out. Can D come here? No, because A is already occupied this seat. Can D come here? Possible. If D comes here, then Bank of India will come here, which is allowed, right? D and Bank of India can take these two. Are there any other possibilities? Can D come here? No, because if D comes in place of SBI, with SBI, opposite has to be Bank of India, but what we have is Bank of Baroda, so D cannot come here. Can D come here? Not possible, because this has been occupied by C already. Can D come here? Yes, D can come here as well, because if D comes here, Bank of Baroda goes there. So basically, these two diagonally opposite positions are where D and Bank of India are fixed. Yes or no? These two positions are fixed for D and Bank of India. If D comes here, then Bank of India comes here, or vice versa, right? So I think we can take two cases and just try and fill it very, very quickly. So what I'll do is draw one more circle. Let me quickly draw another circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First of all, I'll fill up all the values that we know. SBI, C, 170. All the things that are definitely known to us, right? Bank of Baroda 169. A. I should also note down that F cannot come here because this may be useful elsewhere, right? So we have noted everything, right? SBI, C 170, BOB 169, A. Yeah. So now what we will do is, let's assume that in one case D is here, the other case D is here. So D comes here, and this will be Bank of India. Then in the previous case, we can fix D and Bank of India accordingly, right? So D is here, and Bank of India is here. Let's see what happens. So this point is done. D seated opposite to the one who joined Bank of India. D is not near to B. Look at this. D is not near to B. D is not near to B means what? D and B cannot be neighbors. D and B cannot be neighbors. So B cannot come in this position here. And B cannot come in this position. Are you able to follow? D is not near to B. D is not near to B meaning D and B cannot be neighbors. So B cannot come in this position. Anyway, this is occupied by C, so doesn't really have to worry about that. And B cannot come here in this case. This is occupied by A. So that's done, right? E has not scored the lowest marks. E has not scored the lowest marks. So E will not come for 164, which is okay. B scored the second highest marks and did not join Bank of India. But second to the left of the person who scored 174. Who scored 174? Okay. Where will B come? I think it's clear if you look at the first case. Yeah, see, there are two things. Look at this. I think we are close. B has scored 172. We know that B has scored 172, right? B has scored 172. So try and see where can B come. Can B come here in this place? No, because B has scored 172 marks. It's known to us. Here already 169 is blocked. So B cannot come here. A is already seated, so B cannot come here. D is already seated, so B cannot come here. B cannot come here has already been noted. So B cannot come here. And this is for C. So the only choice left for B is this. B, who is in Bank of India, and he has scored 172. Yes or no? With respect to the first case, where will B come? We know that B has scored 172. So 172 and B have to be together. B cannot come here. A, B, C have occupied these three seats. So B anyway cannot go there. This seat was available, but we have noted for some reason that B cannot sit there. So the only choice left for B is this. Bank of India and 172. Similarly, see something can be done here. A, D, C have already occupied these three seats, so B cannot come there. B cannot come here. B should either come for Bank of India or SBI. B should either come for Bank of India and SBI. But look at this again. B scored the second highest marks, this we have noted, and did not join Bank of India. B scored the second highest marks, did not join Bank of India. Okay, that point is clear, right? First case is wrong already. First case is eliminated. B scored second highest marks, did not join Bank of India. Look at this. B scored second highest. He did not join Bank of India. According to the case 1, we are getting B in Bank of India, which is against this statement. B did not join Bank of India. So first case is wrong. Done. See, something is wrong doesn't mean that you have to worry. You should be happy that that case is eliminated. Now this case has to be correct. Right? So close it now. So B scored second highest. B did not join Bank of India. So B cannot come here in this case. B did not join Bank of India. So where can B come? See, this is A, B, C. B cannot come here. So B either goes for SBI or BOB. But we also know that B has scored 172 marks. And since this is 169, B cannot come here. So the fixed point is B comes here in SBI and he has scored 172. He and she has scored 172. Done. And now if you observe the second part of the statement says, so we don't have to worry about first case now, only focus on second case. It says B is second to the left of the person who scored 174 marks. Now B, but refers to the first person, right? But refers to the first person. So B is second to the left of the person who scored 174. Again, going by what we discussed earlier, if B is second to the left of 174, B is second to the left of 174, 174 will be second to the right of B. 174 will be second to the right of B. Now 174 is second to the right of B. Right of B is anti-clockwise. So second to the right of B. First and second, this will be 174. 174 will be second to the right of B. Right? So 174 is for A. That also is fixed. Right? Done. Now anything else given there? Did we read all the statements? The person who joined, look at this, the person who joined Punjab National Bank is second to the left of the one who scored 172. So PNB is second to the left of 172. Where is 172? 172 is here. PNB, Punjab National Bank, is second to the left of 172. Do that. Second to the left of 172. Left of 172 is clockwise. Second to the left, first and second. This will be PNB. Punjab National Bank. Right? So I think in terms of banks, we have done SBI, BOI, BOB, PNB. Right? Punjab National Bank is marked. SBI is marked. Bank of Baroda is marked. Bank of India is marked. What is left out? OBC and Bank of Maharashtra. OBC and Bank of Maharashtra. So that we have to figure out. What are the other points? The person who joined OBC did not score the highest marks. See, the person who joined OBC did not score the highest marks. Highest marks is 174. OBC cannot come here. Because OBC did not score the highest marks. OBC did not score the highest marks. So OBC cannot come here. If OBC cannot come here, the only place where OBC can come is this. Because all other banks have been fixed. OBC cannot come here, we are saying. BOI, SBI, PNB, BOB are fixed. So OBC has to come. And the moment OBC is fixed there, the only bank we are left with is Bank of Maharashtra. And Bank of Maharashtra has to come for A. So this is Bank of Maharashtra. I think we are done, right? Let me clear all the unwanted stuff here so that it looks a little neat, right? B cannot come, is what we have marked, right? F cannot come in BOI, that also you remember. F was marked here, F cannot come here. I have deleted B because B is already fixed, right? So I think in terms of persons, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D have been placed. E and F are left out. We know that F cannot come for BOI. F cannot come for BOI, so F has to come for Bank of Baroda. Right? And if F comes for Bank of Baroda, this should be E. E comes for Bank of India. So done. Persons are also done. Persons are done, banks are done. Only values are left. Now, in terms of values, what all are fixed? 174, 169, 170, 172. 174, 169, 170, 172. 167 and 164. I think somewhere we know that, look at this, the point which has not been underlined. We have not used it so far, right? E has not scored the lowest marks. E has not scored lowest. So E did not score 164. If E did not score 164, the only other value available is 167. So E has scored 167. So 167 is also done. And the only thing left out is 164 now. 164 will go where? For D. It will go for D. Done. So this is the final arrangement. Right? You can check this now. I think, look at the persons A, B, C, D, E and F. In terms of banks, we have Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of India, State Bank of India, OBC, Punjab National Bank and Bank of Baroda. And values are 169, 174, 167, 172, 170 and 160. 164 is twice? No. 169, 174, 167, 172, 170, 160. True. Then I think this satisfies all the conditions, right? Done. So let's look at the question now. I mean, I know the screen looks very, very clumsy here. I have to just clear up. I'll present the question to you all, but let me clear all this crap. This is always a problem, right? When we underline so much, it's difficult to read the questions. But I'm sure answering the questions is a cakewalk, right? Try and answer the questions. Just look at the second arrangement, right? Not the first one. First one is wrong. We figured that out, right? So answer the question now. Well, I don't understand why is this. Sorry. Yeah. Answer the question now. Who amongst the following is from OBC? Who is from OBC? C. C is from OBC. 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way based on the given seating arrangement and thus form a group. Which is the one that does not belong to the group? So A, B, C, D, E. Out of these 5, 4 are similar in a certain way. A, B, C, D, E. I think, see, we cannot distinguish them based on the bank names. Maybe values only will give us something, right? So let's put down the numbers. A has scored 174. B has scored, where is B? 172. C has scored 170. D has scored 164. And E has scored 167. I think based on numbers, you have to take the odd one. 167, right? I can say that 167 is the only odd number there, or prime number. That's a even more solid reason, right? I would go for E. Multiple reasons, right? Out of all the values, only 167 is odd, only 167 is prime. I think those are the 2 reasons I have. Anyway, next question. Who is seated between D and the person from Bank of Baroda? Between D and Bank of Baroda. So D is here, and there is Bank of Baroda. Bank of Baroda is here. So between D and Bank of Baroda, who is seated? No one is seated. So none should be the answer, right? None should be the answer, right? 2 more questions, I guess. Let me just present those 2 questions as well. Yeah. So read this question now. Which of the following is true regarding the given seating arrangement? So which of the following is true regarding the seating arrangement? F is from Bank of Baroda. Where is it? Yes, F is from Bank of Baroda and seated immediate right of. Okay, F is from Bank of Baroda and he's seated immediate right of the person who is opposite to Bank of Maharashtra. No, I don't think that's right, because the one who's opposite to Bank of Maharashtra is C, and F is not on the immediate right of C. F is second to the left of C. So the first statement is wrong. First option is wrong. A is from Punjab National Bank. No, A is from Bank of Maharashtra. So here itself it gets wrong. E is from OBC. E is from OBC. No, E is from Bank of India. So here itself it gets eliminated. C scored 170. C scored 170, right? And is opposite to the one who joined Bank of Maharashtra. C scored 170. Yes, satisfied. You see? C has scored 170, opposite to Bank of Maharashtra. So option 4 should be the answer. Right? Option 4 should be the answer. No need to verify option 5, but let's quickly check that as well. Person from Bank of Maharashtra is seated opposite to the one who scored 164. Bank of Maharashtra is opposite to 164? No. So option 4 is the answer. Last question. Which of the following is the order of marks in descending order? Order of marks in descending order. So I think A, B, C. You see, already we have marked A, B, C, right? And who's got 169 here? 169, where is 169? 169 is F. And then I think we have E, right? E scored 167 and 164 was scored by D. So what's the order? A, B, C, F, E, D. A, B, C, F, E, D. A, B, C, F, E, D. Option 2. A, B, C, F, E, D. Right? Done. I think with this, we come to the close or end of this question. Now, I'm sure most of you have been able to crack it. I mean, it took a little while for some of you, but you were able to do it. Please do not go by the length of the explanation, right? I was not solving it, I was explaining it. So it's obvious that it would take a little longer than what is otherwise required. And also try and cut down the number of steps. I mean, I was trying to explain everything in detail so that you can all follow it. But I'm sure when you do it yourself, you'll be able to do it much faster. And I think, yeah, not more than 5 minutes. 5 minutes maximum for scoring these 5 marks. And that too because there are 5 questions involved, right? Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. In fact, you have to try and be a little faster. So I think 4 to 5 minutes, right? Not more than that. So that's about it. Can we quickly go to the next one? If you're all clear with this, I can present the next question. It's not a tough one, yeah. I can see a lot of answers getting posted there. प्रीतम कुमार बहराज आज कि F A के बगल में है कैसे? अब कैसे तो यार आपको पूरा अरेंजमेंट देखना पड़ेगा फिर से. कहीं दिया गया था कि F और A साथ में नहीं बैठ सकते हैं? नहीं ना, so nothing wrong with it. See, just I mean, if you have any doubts about the solution, what you need to do is after getting the arrangement, read the whole paragraph again, right? Check statement by statement. Is it satisfied in the diagram or not? If it is satisfied, then you can say that this is a correct arrangement, right? So I think we're done with this. Can we go to the next one? Yeah. So let me share the question that we have next for you. Clearing this up. And here we go. So the next question is on your screens now. So this is from machine input output, posted by, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not able to get his name here, but the username is VPADOLE. And this is on machine input output, right? A word and number arrangement machine, when given an input line of words and numbers, rearranges them following a particular rule. The following is an illustration of input and rearrangement. Single digit numbers are preceded by a 0. All the other numbers are 2-digit numbers. So give it a shot. I think you know how to try questions from machine input output, right? Doesn't look any complicated to me. I'm sure you also will be able to solve this easily. So I'll leave you with this for about 3 minutes. Let's see how many of you are able to understand the logic and the rearrangement process. After that, I'll present the question. Right? Presenting the data and the questions both together is difficult, right? Yeah, so nothing complex about it, right? I don't know why did he or she get confused and why is nobody responded to this question already. It's a sitter. So should we really discuss this? I think it's pretty straightforward and we'll only be wasting our time here in solving this one, right? I would request this guy, sorry I'm not able to, get your username, but you just go to the machine input output topic and you'll get it, right? I mean, the fact that all of you have got it shows that it's not very, I mean, I'm not trying to discourage you guys, but very easy. So not required. I think we can just move to the next question. Yeah. So the question that we have for all of you is why, I mean, while all of you are asking, Let me come to the video, right? While all of you are asking, why did he post it as a doubt? It's simple logic, I think. The question I have is, why did you not solve it? You should have gone back to the forum and said, no, boss, this is very easy. Numbers are all in ascending order. Words are all in alphabetical order. And pretty straight arrangement, right? First get the word, then number, then word, then number, and so on. I mean, it's like those age-old questions from machine program. So nothing complex about it. So now I think at least now after the session gets over, you should go back to the forum, search for this and respond to him, right? That, but yeah, this is very, very easy. You just refer to the, I'm sure if you refer to the machine program topic where you have discussed these basic questions, you'll be able to solve it easily. So I think let's not waste our time in discussing this. I'll present the next question to you all right? So let me just present the next question. Yeah, I have to share the screen. Let me just do that. Here we go. So the next question is on your screens now. Now this was posted by Tej, and this is from the SSC CGL. I mean, one of the SSC CGL question types, right? Not very common in bank exams. You have to find out the value of X. Let's see how many of you are able to get this. Well, it's getting hard for me also to crack this. Let's see if anyone is able to do. And I'm close, I guess. Let me just. I've got one logic which gives me the value of X, but it's hard to get such a logic in the exam. Quick. I mean, see, you got to understand that you cannot be spending a lot of time trying to get the logic in such questions, right? I mean, give it like 30-45 seconds. If you can get the answer, well and good. Otherwise, just skip and move to the next one. There's no point in wasting your precious time in trying out a question which has got no definite method to arrive at the answer, right? So Swati is the first one who's got 9 as the answer. Pooja says it should be 36. Dhaval has got 36. Sumit Kumar has also got 36. Now, guys, I think it will be great if you tell me what has made you get that answer. It's not just the answer, but the logic that plays a key role here, right? So why is it 36? Why do you think it is 36? I know most of you are saying 36 because it's like 4 square. Right? This is 4 square, this is 5 square, so this is 6 square. But that's same logic hold true for the other 2 columns? No. So how can you say that's 36? I mean, you just cannot look at one of the columns and say 36 is the answer, right? Are these 2 given just like that? No. Somebody said 9. Why 9? That I'm not able to understand. Yeah. So see, this is a challenge, right? I mean, you never know how much time it will take. There's no definite method. There's no step-by-step process that can give us the answer. And yeah, very clearly, those who have given 36 have also started giving me reasons that 16 and 25 are square, so next one should be 36, which is 6 square. But does that hold true for the other columns as well? No, right? So I think that is why I always say, give it a try. Don't mark your answer based on a stupid logic that doesn't hold true across. And if you are not able to crack it in like 30 seconds, just go to the next one. Chandrasekhar has got 56. Why 56, Chandrasekhar? Swati is trying to explain her answer, right? Swati says 27 plus 15 is 42. Okay. If 27 plus 15 is 42, then 49 plus 22 is not 36, right? Explain the second column. Achha, so she said 25 minus 9 is 16. So either it is plus or minus. So here if you say 27 plus 15 is 42, okay. You're saying basically some arithmetic operation should be done in the second and the third number in each column to get the first number. Fine. So similarly, then you're saying 25 minus x is equal to 16. So x has to be 9. Okay, let's agree with this as well. Then 49 and 22. What operation between 49 and 22 will give you 36? Tell me. So basically, you guys are telling me that based on what you find is applicable, may not be applicable across, but wherever it is applicable, apply that and get the logic. Wow. Should make sense, right? It doesn't really make sense. Pritham has got 42. So I'm trying to understand your reasoning behind these answers. मतलब जो मर्जी आए वो करेंगे, राइट? हमको आंसर चाहिए तो कैसे भी करके सेटिस्फाई कर दो उसको. Chalo, let me finally explain this to you. I think you guys have tried enough. Let me give you the answer now. So this was posted by Tej. Simple question: find the value of x. But yeah, it's not as simple as it looks. You have to crack the logic behind this whole 3x3 table that is given to us. Now I'm sure we have tried enough times. I have looked at various responses given by you, but none of them are like satisfactory. And there's no point in me trying it here. Let me directly give you the logic. Right? The logic goes as follows. It is basically a column-based operation, which is like finding out the sum of the digits of the first two numbers in each column. It results in the third number. I'm sure not all of you have followed what I've said just now, so let me explain. Now look at the numbers here: 42, 27, 15. How it goes? This 42 is changed to 4 plus 2. Which is 6. 27 is changed to 2 plus 7, which is 9. And this 6 plus 9 gives you 15, which is what we have here. Same is applicable for the second column, 36, 49, 22. How do we get this? 36 is 3 plus 6, 9. So basically you're finding out the root digit. 49 is not the root digit, but yeah, the sum of the digits. 49 is 13, and 9 plus 13 gives you 22. Right, the sum of these two. Now tell me, is it so easy to crack this in the exam? I'm sure not. Right? And the last one is 16, 25. 1 plus 6 gives you 7. 2 plus 5 gives you 7. So x should be equal to 7 plus 7, which is 14. So x here is 14. Now this is not a very easy logic to crack. So that is the reason I always say, try it out for 30 seconds. If you can get that answer in 30 seconds, well and good. Otherwise, skip. Remember, the easiest way to solve such questions in the exam is to skip and move to the next one. Let me see your reaction to this one before we look at the next question. Now tell me, how many of you think that you can get that kind of a logic in 30 seconds or 45 seconds or let's say 1 minute in the exam? You cannot spend more than a minute. You don't have that much time in the exam. Even if you spend 1 minute, I think getting that logic is not going to be easy. I mean, you have to be very lucky to get that. I would have skipped in like 30 seconds. 30, 45 seconds I would try, because these questions actually are tempting, right? I mean, you feel like, let me give one more try. Let me give one more try, right? एक बार और try करते हैं. It's like gambling, right? You keep putting your money, assuming that you'll win this time, right? Like poker, and you lose, end up losing everything. So don't do that, right? Somebody's mentioned practice. I think even practice doesn't help in such cases. Any amount of practice that you do, you may not be able to solve these questions. And sometimes without practice also, you get it. I can see Johnny mentioning welcome, well done Mohit. So it looks like Mohit is the one who has been able to crack this. I'm trying to read or directly understand from the last comment that I don't know why he's appreciating Mohit, but okay, Mohit found the logic. Kamal Priyadarshini also mentioned that Mohit has found the logic. So Mohit, I think a great job. But again, look at the time. How much time did you spend? Did you get that immediately? No. I don't want to discourage you, but you got to understand what is important for your exam. Getting the answer is not important. Getting the answer in the right amount of time is important. And you cannot spend 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes for these questions. Right? But good job. I think I appreciate that you've got it. Sumit Kumar Pandit. Okay, Sumit Kumar Pandit says, give options first, then I will try such type of question. Doesn't work. Even options will not help in these questions, right? I don't know how can options help you get the answer. I seriously don't understand that. This is not a simplification based question, right? This is not a question from arithmetic aptitude where you can do some simplification and or maybe do some verification using options. No. So, anyways, I think an eye opener and the only conclusion that we all must make from this is that skip these questions. That's the best way to solve. Right? Let me move to the next one. I think we are at 8:15 already. Of course, we started this just half an hour late today, so I can take maybe one more question on some puzzle or arrangement because we haven't done many such questions in the recent past, and the feedback is that we have to discuss more and more such questions. So I'll present the next question to you all, and let's see how many of you are able to crack it. Here we go. Sharing the screen now. Sorry. So here we go. All right, here's the next question. Posted by Shravani Mukherjee. Clearly a question on arrangements there. It says 8 persons, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. All of them face north direction, but not necessarily the same order. All of them stay in different floors, 2nd, 6th, 10th, 15th, 20th, 30th, 31st, the residence, but not in the same order. And that is it. Oh, this should be easy, not very difficult. Only 8 persons have to be arranged in a straight line where they're all facing north, and also we have to identify which person stays on which of the given floors here. So 5 minutes is what you have. Okay, 2431270. This username, the person with this username mentioned that what if the same question has 2 logic? Well, it rarely happens that same question has got multiple logics and different answers. Multiple logics and same answer is possible, but multiple logic different answers is very, very rare, and we don't have a solution for that. I mean, you can only get trapped in such situations. But what is definitely rarest of the rare is that one person gets both the logics with 2 different answers in 30 or 45 seconds of time. So if you have got at least one of the logics, just follow that. So 5 minutes. Let's see how many of you are able to practice. Shouldn't be difficult as far as I know. We'll only get to know when we start trying it out. So let's wait and watch. Okay, Ajay has a question for me कि आपने कैसे पता किया इसका आंसर 14 होगा, right? How did you figure that logic out? Well, Ajay, very honestly, मुझे भी नहीं पता चला. I tried it for about 3 to 4 minutes, but then one of my friends helped me out. So we should all thank her and not me. Of course, I should go back and check how much time did she take to get the answer, which I did not, because I was more keen on knowing the answer and not how much time has been spent. First, all of you are trying this out. I don't see any responses as yet. Let's see. Okay, no responses as yet. Raji's mentioned that she's trying it, and I'm sure others are also trying it out. So I'll give you a couple of more minutes. Let's see how many are able to practice. Got that? Okay, I think Revati Sharma and Nayan are the two who have been able to do this. Only two of you. That's disappointing. Time is already up. 30 more seconds. I'm sure a lot of you are towards the end of the solution, so let me not disappoint them by starting the solution right away. 30 more seconds, hoping that there are others who are trying it out, right? Divya's also done it, and Pooja says it's tough. Well, it's very clear that it's tough because only three of you have been able to crack it so far after having spent almost 7 to 8 minutes. So quickly tell me how many of you are still trying it out? How many of you are trying it out? How many of you have given up? How many of you think you cannot solve it? And of course, how many of you have done it already? Because that will help me gauge how easy or difficult is this question, right? The complexity level. So a lot of you are still trying. All right. So Cyclone has mentioned that he wants 1 more minute. I think I'll give you a couple of minutes because a lot of you are still trying it out. And I don't want to just disappoint you by starting the solution right away. So I think 2 more minutes. The fact that three of you have been able to crack it shows that others can also do it, right? If they can do, you guys can also do it. So 3 minutes is what, 2 minutes is what you have. And your time starts now. All right, so a lot of confusion there. Srinivas has mentioned that he has given up already, and Pooja believes that there are many possibilities. And Kshitij thinks that he's not very sure about the positions of C and H and also their floor numbers, right? It could be between 31 and 37. Dikshit is also confused, trying but not getting it is what he says. New type of question and time-taking condition. So I'm glad that we've chosen this one for the session today, right? I actually thought this should be an easy one because there's just 8 persons who have to be arranged in a straight line, all of them facing north. And the only other parameter that we have is this apartment where all of them stay on different floors, right? 8 different floors: 2nd, 6th, 10th, 15th, 20th, 30th, 31st, and 37th. So why this so much of confusion, right? Let me get out a few more comments. So Venkatesh is trying, Priyanka has done it, and so has Ravi Rathod. Thiru has finally got it. Divya says, I'm not getting it for C. Well, Divya, I'm sure you're not, something is wrong with the solution because you say that you're not getting it only for C, which is not possible. See, how is that you are not getting the floor of only C? If there's only C left, there should be only one floor left, right? So it doesn't make sense in my view. Right? Just check your solution once again. And Arpita, as usual, is struck. Arpita, why are you not able to solve such questions? I think you've spent more than 10 minutes and you're still confused, right? Why does this happen with you, Arpita? And I'm mentioning Arpita there because I had a chance to meet her in Bangalore when we were there the last time to do a seminar. So Arpita mentioned there that she is not too good in reasoning, and I don't really see an improvement there. So Arpita, are you really practicing or no? Okay, I think we've spent enough time, so let me now discuss the solution with you all. It looks like many of you have got it finally, right? Ravi Rathod, Priyanka, Srinivas says giving up is the best solution. Well, when I say that, you guys don't listen to me, right? I've always mentioned that the best way to solve such questions from complex arrangements or puzzles is to, not solve them, right? Just skip and move to the next one. Remember, it's not these complex questions that will help you score more. It's the easier ones where you actually get stuck and end up wasting your time, right? So don't try hard in practicing more on such questions. It won't yield any results, right? Instead, try to work on those simpler ones and improve your speed. Remember the quote, "Insan ठोकर पत्थरों से नहीं पहाड़ों से खाता है." So that's what is happening with you guys here, right? And now that I've got enough solutions, I think we should take the solution. So let's try this out. All right, so this question was posted by Shravani Mukherjee, and as you all can see, this is a question based on linear arrangements. 8 persons, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, all of them who face north direction, but not necessarily in the same order. So basically, 8 persons have to be arranged in a straight line, and I think the easier part is all of them are facing north, right? It actually gets complex when we find that some of these guys face north and the rest face south. They're finding out the left or right becomes complex. But the fact that all these 8 face north shows us that it's not very difficult with respect to the directions there, right? Now, what happens when persons are facing north? When a person is facing north, his left is to be taken towards our left and right should be towards our right. And when a guy is facing south, the left should be towards our right on paper and right will be on our left. You can watch our video on linear arrangements to get a detailed understanding on this. But the simple point is, if it is north, left is left and right is right. When it is south, these two get interchanged. Now, all of them stay on different floors, right? All of them stay on different floors, which are 2nd, 6th, 10th, 15th, 20th, 30th, 31st, and 37th. I guess they've got 8 persons and 8 floors, right? But not necessarily in the same order, right? And that is it. So why is it so complex? 8 persons and 8 floors. So this is how it goes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So these are the 8 positions which need to be filled with the name of the person and the floor number. Now look at the first clue given to us, right? It says D is 5th to the left of the person who stays on 20th floor. D6, 5th to the left of the person who stays on 20th floor. Now, we have already understood that persons are facing north, so left has to be towards our left and right has to be towards our left, right. And the point says D is fifth to the left of the person who stays on 20th floor. Now understand that there can be two different possibilities here, right? Assume that the guy on 20th floor is in this position, right? He sits on the extreme right. Now D sits fifth to the left of the person who stays on 20th floor. So go to the left of this person who's sitting on 20th floor. Like I said, left is always towards our left when persons are facing north. So D is fifth to the left. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, right? First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So D has to come in this position, right? D sits fifth to the left of the person who stays on 20th floor. All right. Now I'm trying to take the names of the persons on top of the row and their floor numbers at the bottom of the row so that we don't get confused, right? I mean, we'll just follow that convention, right, or whatever we call it. So D sits fifth to the left of the person who stays on 20th floor. I just verify this once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now that's not the only possibility, right? The same thing can happen in multiple ways. If at all the guy on 20th floor is shifted by one position towards left, D is also shifted by one position towards left. And then if you shift this guy by two positions towards left, so gets D shifted by two positions towards left, right? So these are the three different possibilities that we have. And I'm sure we need to consider all these three to be able to get the answer, properly. Now there are different ways of approaching this problem, right? There are some students who say, why don't we just try out with this one case and quickly see if it satisfies all the conditions? I would not suggest that because, usually it so happens that towards the end of the solution, you figure out that this is wrong. And then you have to start over again from the beginning. So the best way to deal with these questions would be to just try out all the possibilities from the beginning, right? Fill all the gaps that you get to know from the data points given here, and then see which of those possibilities are wrong, and finally be left with the correct one. All right, so we'll just do the same thing here, right? So D sits fifth, and then there's also one more point which you need to look at. Is this the right way to start the solution, right? Just because the first clue given to us is D sits fifth to the left of the person who stays on 20th floor doesn't mean that we start with that, right? You can find out an alternative statement given there, which could be a better start. So doing one reading of these points also is helpful sometimes, right? So the next point, let's look at the next point. I mean, before we try out the other possibilities, let's see if there's something better over there. The person on the 20th floor does not sit at the extreme ends. Now see, the very next statement tells us that whatever we have tried out is wrong, right? The person on the 20th floor, the person who's on the 20th floor does not sit at the extreme ends. We have already considered 20th floor guy at the right end, which is the rightmost end, which is one of the extreme ends. And this is supposedly not allowed, right? The guy on 20th floor cannot be sitting at the extreme ends. So the first case is going to be, and now we are left with only two of the cases. So let's try that out, right? I think I'll clear this up because I'm sure we'll be running short of space towards the end of the solution. Remember that the 20th floor guy cannot come at the extreme ends. So I'll take two possibilities, right? 8 positions. Now, the fact that 20th floor guy cannot come here, we can consider him here. D is fifth to the left. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. D comes here. Then maybe this 20th floor guy is in the third position from right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. D has to come in the extreme position, right? So that is it. These are the only two cases we have. Now look at the next point. There are two persons sitting between the one who stays on 20th floor and F. The next statement says there are two persons between the one who stays on 20th floor and F. So 20th and F should have two places in between. Now, if you look at case number 1 here, you cannot. Now remember, when we say there are two persons between 20th floor and F, there are actually two types of possibilities. It can be 20 dash dash F, which means two persons between 20 and F in that sequence, or it can be F dash dash and 20, right? Usually, I've seen students fail to realize this point, right? I mean, there are two persons between X and Y will lead to two possibilities. It can be X dash dash Y or Y dash dash X. So both these have to be considered in each of these cases. Now, if you look at case number 1, since 20th floor is already at the second position from right, you actually cannot consider the first case here. So F has to be towards the left of 20, right? And then the only way to do that is this, right? There are two persons between 20th floor and the person F. And even in the second case, the same thing holds true, right? F cannot be taken towards the right of 20th floor because we don't have enough places left over. So F has to come in this position. Next, the person staying on 6th floor sits second to the right of G. Now, try and understand, the person who's staying on 6th floor sits second to the right of G. In this statement, we are talking about two parameters. One is 6th floor and G, and none of these have been plotted already on the diagram here, right? We have neither marked G nor did we mark sixth floor anywhere. So this statement is not useful immediately, right? Of course, it will come in use later on, but it cannot be of any use now. So just skip that and move to the next point. Next statement says G is not an immediate neighbor of D. Now this could be helpful. G is not an immediate neighbor of D. G is not an immediate neighbor of D. Means what? G cannot come in these two positions, right? And in case 2 again, G cannot come here. Will that help us use the previous statement? The person staying on 6th floor sits second to the right of G. Alright, if you see, there's one more point here. It says G does not sit on 20th floor. There's a lot of data with respect to G. G does not sit on 20th floor. So G will not come in this position as well. And I think now that 3 of the positions are eliminated for G, we can try out the previous one, right? The person staying on 6th floor sits second to the right of G. Try this out. Person who stays on 6th floor is second to the right of G. Now look at case number 1. We have already found that G cannot come in the first position. Second position is already blocked by D. Third position is eliminated for G. Fourth one is blocked by F. Now what if you take G in this position? We know that the person who stays on 6th floor is second to the right of G. So if G comes here, second to the right of G, first and second, this has to be 6th floor. But if you observe, this is already blocked for 20th floor. So G cannot come in this position as well. You're getting it? If you take G in this position beside F, the guy who's in 6th floor has to come in this position because he's second to the right of G. But that is not possible because it's already blocked by 20th floor. Try taking G in this position. If you take G here, what happens? The person who's sitting on 6th floor is second to the right of G. So G comes here, first and second. The 6th floor guy has to come here. And G anyway is not allowed in this position and G cannot come in this position. So we have actually verified all the positions for G and found that the only way to place G is to take him on third from right position, right? And which gives us 6th floor here. Now do the same thing very quickly for case 2 as well. So D and F, these two are already blocked. G cannot come here. What if G comes here? If G comes here, let me just write it, right? G comes here, then 6th floor has to come here. But then this has already been blocked by 20th floor, so not possible. Can you take G here? Yes. If G comes here, the guy on 6th floor has to sit here. Can you take G in this position? No. We have already for some reason marked here that G cannot come in this position. So G is eliminated. I mean, G cannot come there. And you cannot consider G in the last 2 positions as well because that pushes 6th floor guy out of the arrangement. So the only way to place G here is as follows, right? Take G in this position and 6th floor guy, as mentioned in the point, is second to the right of G. So first and second to the right of G. Let me clear all the other garbage here so that we, right? So we're done with this. Next point. Look at the next point. The difference between numerical values of floor numbers of immediate neighbors of G is 10. Now this again is interesting. I don't think we have ever used this kind of a data in solving questions and puzzles, right? This is difference between the numerical values of floor numbers of immediate neighbors of G is 10. So basically the immediate neighbors of G, if you take their floor numbers, the difference has to be 10. Now we already know that from both the cases, one of the immediate neighbors of G sits on 20th floor, or he's from 20th floor, right? In both the cases, in fact, you see. Now the only question is what floor number would come here in this position such that the difference between these two is 10, right? That's what the statement says, right? The difference between the numerical values of the immediate neighbors of G, of the floor numbers of immediate neighbors of G is 10. Now look at the floor numbers given to us. 2nd, 6th, 10th, 15th, 20th, 30th, 31st, and 37th. Now since the difference given here is 10, it's very easy to identify what can be the value that comes in place of question mark. Can it be 2? No. Can it be 6? I mean, just take the difference with 20 and you'll figure that out, right? So 2 difference 20 gives you 18, 2 difference 6 gives you 14, not possible. 2 difference 10 is 10. So this is likely. 2 difference 15 gives you 5. 28 is anyway one of the immediate neighbors. 20 difference 30 also is 10. So I think I've been reading it out as 2. It's not 2, it's 20. Let me just, do that once again. 20 difference 2 is 18, so that's not possible. 20 difference 6 is 14, so that again is not allowed. 20 difference 10 can be considered. And then again, in a similar fashion, 20 difference 15 gets eliminated because the difference is 5. 20 and 20 cannot be considered. 20 difference 30 is also possible. So I think these are the 2 possible values. You can do the similar verification for other 2 scores as well. So the only 2 values which can come in place of question mark here is 30 or 10. Both of them give you a difference of 10 with respect to 20. And then let's consider both of them. I'm not interested in taking multiple cases. Let's say it can be 10 or 30. Now I'm sure you may ask me a question. Should we duplicate these cases, take 10 in one case, 30 in the other case, similarly duplicate this case, take 10 in one case and 30 in the other case? I would say no, don't do that, because the fact that you already marked so many parameters here, you can deal with both the possibilities in the same position, right? I'm sure we'll figure out which one is correct there based on the points given next in this paragraph, right? So don't try to duplicate this. That's like creating unnecessary possibilities and then wasting your precious time. So just move to the next statement now. The person staying on 10th floor is not an immediate neighbor of F, and that clears it out, right? The person who's on 10th floor is not an immediate neighbor of F. So this 10th floor guy cannot be a neighbor of F. That's it. So this has to be 30th floor, right? Now two persons are sitting between A and the person on 10th floor. Two persons are sitting between A and the person on 10th floor. Again, the same problem. We have got A and the mention of 10th floor in this statement, and none of these two have been marked so far in the arrangement, right? A has not been put, and 10th floor has also not come into picture, right? The person staying on 10th floor is not an immediate neighbor of F. Yeah. So neither A nor 10th floor have been marked, and that makes it difficult to use that statement, right? The only point that we can make out is that two persons are sitting between A and 10th floor. Again, remember A dash dash 10 or 10 dash dash A. This is what many of us fail to realize, and that's what makes it complicated, right? All those who have not been able to crack this initially, I'm sure we're stuck in something similar to this. Look at the next point. Neither F, so we'll come back to this later wherever we feel that it could be useful. Look at next point. Neither F nor G is staying on 10th floor. Neither F nor G staying on 10th floor. Now, since we already have F and G marked here, we can say that these two guys cannot come on 10th floor, right? Neither F nor G stays on 10th floor. So that will help us eliminate some of the possibilities when we try to verify this point. More than one person sits between B and the person staying on 2nd floor. Now this also is not useful immediately because it's mentioned about B and 2nd floor, which are not there in the graph so far. The floors on which C and H are staying are higher than the floor upon which A is staying. The floors on which C and H are staying are higher than the floor upon which A is staying. Where is A staying, by the way? A is staying on which floor? We have no clue about that. So let's move to the next point, right? Not to worry, just move to the next point. C is not an immediate neighbor of D. C is not an immediate neighbor of D. Now this also is useful. We know that C is not an immediate neighbor of D, so C cannot occupy these two positions, right? And here C cannot come in this position. One person is sitting between B and the person staying on 31st floor. One person sits between B and the person staying on 31st floor. So done. I think what we have done so far is just one reading of the given data and arrived at whatever we have arrived at, right? You see that D, F, and G have been marked with floor numbers 30, 20, and 6. And then a lot of other indicators like C cannot be a neighbor of D, F and G cannot be on 10th floor, and a lot of statements which have not been used yet. So what we'll do now is go for the second reading and try to fill the gaps. All right? So I mean, like our usual convention, anything that has been underlined has been used. So don't waste your time in reading that again. Just move to something which has not been used so far. Now, two persons are sitting between A and the person on 10th floor. Try this out. Two persons between A and the 10th floor. I'll just make it really clear here, right? So two persons between A and 10th floor. Let's give it a shot. Let's see where will this fit. Okay. I think we've already used this as well, and I'm just trying to clear up all this unwanted stuff so that we don't get confused, right? This has to be used. Two persons between A and 10th floor. So I'm trying to verify this now, right? Let's quickly do that. So two possibilities of two persons between A and 10th floor, and we've got two cases. All these have to be verified. So let's start with this A dash dash 10. See what happens. If you take A in this position, where will 10th floor come? 10th floor has to come for F. Is that possible? Not possible. See, this is the advantage if you do a clear, if you mark everything very clearly. We have very clearly marked that 10th floor cannot come here, right? For F and G. Similarly, 10th floor cannot come here for F and G. So that makes it easy to verify. So A dash dash 10. If you take A in this position, dash dash 10, not possible. So ruled out. A of course cannot come in second position here since it is blocked by D. Can A come in this position? Try this out. A dash dash 10. Again ruled out because if 10th floor comes here, we will be violating one of the conditions given earlier. So A cannot come in this position. This has been blocked by F. Can A come here? Try it out. If A comes here, where will 10th floor go? A dash dash 10. Is it possible? No, because this floor has been blocked by this position has been blocked by the 6th floor guy. However, the other point that we need to consider is 10th floor can also be on the left of A. What we have considered so far is 10th floor being on the right of A. But if at all you take A in this position, dash dash 10 is ruled out, but dash dash and 10 here is possible. You understand? There are two different ways of doing it. So that's one possibility. In fact, yeah, that's one possibility that we have. A in this position and 10th floor coming here. Try out the other things as well. A cannot come here. Can A come in this position? If you take A here, the only way to take 10th floor is on the left side. So A dash dash 10, but that's not possible again for the same reason that we've checked earlier. And if you take A in this position, it has to be dash dash 10, but this floor has been blocked by the 30th floor. So the only way possible for A and 10 here is to take A in this position and dash dash 10. You're getting it? Do the same thing for the second case as well. Try it out very quickly. So A dash dash 10 is not possible. A dash dash 10 is possible. And A dash dash 10 is not possible. So that's one way of doing it, right? A can come here with 10th floor going for D. This is of course, already blocked by G. A dash dash 10 not possible. A dash dash 10 not possible. Can A come here? A dash dash 10 again not possible. And can A come here? Dash dash 10 not possible. Yes, the only way to do it is A coming on this floor, this position, and 10th floor is for B. Right? I would clear everything about 10th floor now, so that we are not, so that basically it looks neat. But don't do this drama in the exam. You will not get extra marks for your presentation, right? So this point is done. Two persons are sitting between A and the person staying on 10th floor. I think we are close now. Move to the next statement. More than one person sits between B and the person staying on 2nd floor. More than one person sits between B and the person staying on 2nd floor. Now we have no data about this. The next point said that the floors on which C and H are staying are higher than the floor upon which A is staying. And we already know that A stays on 30th floor. Look at this. A stays on 30th floor. So now try to verify this statement. The floors on which C and H are staying are higher than the floor upon which A is staying. See, we know that A is on 30th floor. Now look at these floor numbers here. What are the floor numbers which are higher than 30? The only two floors that we have are 31st and 37th, right? C and H are staying on floor numbers which are higher than the floor on which A stays. A stays on 30th floor. So the only possibility for C and H is to take up 31st and 37th floor. Now, one important point there we have is C and H should be going for, basically I'm repeating the same thing. Let me verify where will it come. So C and H have to take 31st and 37th floor. So try out what all is possible there. See, you got to understand that. Okay, I'm not going to say that again. Let me just write it here. C and H will take between 31 and 37. Now, what sequence is not known to us? If C takes 31st floor, H will be for 37th floor, or vice versa, right? If C goes on 37th, then H will go on 31st. But one important understanding that you must have is, we have neither marked C or H so far in the graph or in the diagram there, and nor have we marked 31 and 37. Now, we are looking for two positions where neither the person has been placed nor the floor number. You're getting it? We want two positions, two blank positions, two completely blank positions. Neither the floor number has to be there nor the name of the person, because if any one of those have there, then these cannot be fit, right? So just try and find out or identify such spaces in these two cases. Now, if you look at first case here, we already know, see, this is a blank place. This position has neither got the person nor the floor number. However, we know that C cannot come in this place. So this is ruled out for C. Similarly, this is anyway blocked by both floor number and the name of the person. Look at this position. Both are vacant, right? Name of the person is not there, floor number is also not there, but then we know that C cannot come in this position. And when you move towards the extreme right, there are two positions which are vacant for the names of the person, but the floor numbers are already blocked. Now, this is the challenge. Can we put C or H here? Not possible, because if you put C here, C is allotted floor number 20, but we know that C either takes 31 or 37. And similarly, if you take C on the 6th floor, we are going against the condition. So the point that I'm trying to make is, one is we need to look for two positions where neither the name of the person nor the floor number is mentioned. And we have no such place available for C in case number 1. There are 2 places which are, vacant from both the ends, right? But then both of these are not allowed for C. So clearly case number 1 is wrong. And now don't panic that one of the cases is eliminated. That's what we want, right? The earlier you figure out which case is wrong, the faster we get the answer. Because now we'll have to verify these conditions only in the second case, right? Now try to do the same thing for case number 2. We are looking for 2 positions where neither the name of the person nor the floor number is marked. What are those 2 positions? 1 and 2. In all other cases, either the name or the person is there. Sorry, either the name or the floor number is given, right? D10, F, but then we cannot take 31 or 37 here. G, 31 or 37 is not allowed. 20 and 6, C and H are not allowed. Now these are the only 2 cases. Look at this. C cannot come here in this position, so obviously C has to come here. And if C comes here, then H has to come here. Floor numbers will decide. But then I will say 31, 37, and yeah, 31 or 37. Okay. Now try out the other points. One person is sitting between B and the person staying on 31st floor. One person stays between B and the person staying on 31st floor. So this will help us. There's one person between B and 31. Now look at this. By any chance, if you consider this to be 31, B should be coming in this position. You understand? If you consider this to be 31, B has to come in this position. But this is already blocked by A. So B cannot come here. The fact that B cannot come here shows that this cannot be 31st floor. And if this is not 31st floor, then this has to be 37th floor. And this being 37th floor tells us that this is 31st floor. You're getting it? The point given here was there's only one person between B and 31st floor. Now, if you consider this to be, that's the only assumption we can make, right? Either this is 31st floor or this is 31st floor. Let's assume that this is 31st floor, the floor on which H, the floor which H belongs to. If that is 31, then B has to come in this position. There's no other way out. But that's already blocked by A. So B cannot come there. If B cannot come here, indicates this is not 31. This has to be 37. And this is 37, then it's 30. And the fact that this is 31 tells us that this is floor number, this is for B. Why? Again, the same point. One person is sitting between B and the one who's staying on 31st floor. Then I think we are done with all the persons but one. Who is that person? A, B, C, D, F, G, and H. So E is missing and E has to come here. And 2 more floors have to be fixed. The one statement that we have not used so far is this. More than one person sits between B and the person staying on 2nd floor. So there should be more than one person between B and the guy who sits on 2nd floor. So can 2nd floor come here? No. There have to be at least 2 persons between B and 2nd floor. So 2nd floor cannot come here. It has to come here. And if 2nd floor comes here, whatever is left out has to come from G. What is that? You've got 2, 6, 30, 20, 10, and 31 and 37. 2, 6, 30, 20, 10. Yeah. So 15th floor is left out, which has to go for G. And I think this gives us the final arrangement. If you want, you can verify all the statements once again, right? All these statements have to be satisfied in this arrangement that we have got. But that is only a waste of your time, right? Don't do that in this examination. So that's the final arrangement. And now answering those 5 questions is going to be a cakewalk, right? I mean, only this part takes time. Now you can answer the 5 questions easily. So let me quickly present the questions to you all. So here's the first one. H lives on which floor? H lives on which floor? H lives on floor number 37. So done. Move to the next one. How many persons sit between A and E? How many persons sit between A and E? Between A and E here, we've got 2 persons. So this is option 1. Look at the next question. Who among the following sits on the immediate left of the person who lives on 15th floor? Immediate left of 15th floor. What is immediate left of 15th floor? Immediate left of 15th floor is person A. Option 1, and that's done. Then move to the next question. Who among the following sits immediate left of the person who lives on? Okay, I think the same question has come again. Sorry. Who among the following sits third to the right of F? Third to the right of F. F is here. Third to the right of F. First, second, and third. Third to the right of F is B, which is this one, right? And I think there's one more question. No more questions. So done with this, and I'm sure all of you have got the answer, right? I mean, followed how to crack this. So I think, I would repeat myself that do not go by the length of the explanation, right? Understand that I was not solving this question, I was explaining it to you. And that is the reason it has taken so much of time. When you do it yourself, you'll arrive at the answer much faster. And whatever I've done, you got to just try to do very quickly, right? So I hope all of you followed this. Let me just quickly see if there are any questions. You all follow this? Followed now? Yeah. So I think, guys, the point that I'm trying to make is if you do it very carefully, read the statements meticulously and understand what is given there. Not just what is given there, but what is hidden in those statements, right? When you got to read between the lines, then you'll be able to clear it very easily. You'll be able to complete the arrangement very easily. All right? So practice is the key. Again, I would say the more you practice, the easier it gets. What is important is not what is directly given there, but what is indirectly given there. If you can identify those statements and try to fill the gaps, it becomes a lot easier. Okay, so on that note, I would like to close it here. It's already 9, so we better close the session here. I know we have started half an hour late today, but that was a very good discussion like I said, and something very good coming your way. So we started at 6:30, but still it's like 2.5 hours now, so we better close it here. Thank you so much for joining us in this live session. I really appreciate your dedication and sincerity in joining the sessions. And it looks like a lot of you are there in the session even now, although it's 9 p.m. So that's what is really motivating and keeps encouraging us to do more and more to these sessions. I wish I could solve more questions, but let us close it here. We have other sessions coming up, right? We do 3 sessions every week, so these questions that are left over with me will be taken up in the next session. But then, like I said, you guys have to use the discussion forums, very effectively now, right? Like you said, there was this question posted on machine input output, right? Such an easy one. Why did he post it in the forum? My question to you guys is, why did you answer that in the forum, right? So start using the forum and keep yourselves engaged there. I'm sure you don't have to wait for us to clarify your doubts in that case, right? The more you participate, the more effective and engaging it becomes, and the quicker you get your responses to the questions that you post. Okay. On that note, let me close it here. Thank you once again for joining us. I'll see you all in the next session. Until then, keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. Bye.